Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now August 24th of 2023, and given that we have quite a number of things going on right now between Bob Iger and the Disney Board of Directors, and everything happening with the second phase of the cost containment plan to really keep Disney afloat about spending less and making less on everything Disney, whatever it may be, Star Wars, Marvel, etc., etc. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into exactly what's going on with Brie Larson and the higher-ups over at Disney and why this is actually creating quite a stir behind closed doors. Now, we know that Brie Larson has been one of the most insufferable actresses in Hollywood, right up there with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Rachel Zegler, and some people would like to even say Amber Heard, obviously for what happened with the whole Johnny Depp situation, but that's on a grander scale of things. When we're looking at everything related to Brie Larson, we know that the driving force of her career is nothing more than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That is the main thing that is driving her career right now. Fast X was a flop, and Universal is already looking to drop her from Fast X Part 2 and Part 3. Yes, there will be an 11th and a 12th film, technically speaking. But moving past all of this, this is where things get very complex between both Brie Larson and the Disney bigwigs. Alright, now we know that the whole DEI situation has been unraveling a lot of things over at Disney, and obviously a lot of people, people within the general public do not like that concept that Disney keeps on pushing into the films. Now, moving onwards, with Disney going, of course, about making things way worse and making worse decisions lately for this year of 2023, one major development has much to do with actress Brie Larson. Now, recently, Larson got into huge trouble with Disney where she recently made an ultimatum with Disney after they cut her Captain Marvel sequel project and her cameos from the MCU television projects on Disney+, where Larson was demanding roughly a 40% pay increase for her upcoming appearance in Avengers Secret Wars in the next couple of years, where she reportedly signed a contract to return as Captain Marvel. Now, her unrealistic demands are leading Disney to be pressing these proposals to producer Kevin Feige of dropping Brie Larson from Secret Wars if her demands continue on moving forward. If she gets dropped from Secret Wars, the majority of her acting career in the Marvel Universe would be essentially vanquished and universally over and done with. And given that Universal is already, like I said before, planning on dropping Larson from Fast X Part 2 and 3, this would lead Larson to holding little to no acting gigs except for her Nissan commercials, which are coming to a close soon anyway. Now, Larson is said to be very determined to get a pay increase for Secret Wars than what she signed on for in her contract. The reasoning why Larson has an issue with this is that Michael Waldron reportedly made Captain Marvel more relevant than initially planned for the film that Larson became aware of, that is leading her presenting a way to justify her demands for a pay increase in this up-and-coming movie that is set to reboot the entire MCU from a creative standpoint. So guys, let me just stop here before I get to the next big bit about this development, is that, once again, you have people like Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Brie Larson, and Rachel Zegler. They all kind of think the same way. Very overly demanding. They try to bring themselves up against the bigwigs through their managers and or agents, and they try to work out a deal to create a major bump in their income. And they got to realize that, when you have a contract signed, that pretty much settles a lot of things, of course. But the problem here is that Brie Larson is giving this ultimatum to Disney after, essentially, they erased her role from many of the cameos for the MCU TV shows. This ranges anything from a continuation of Mrs. Marvel to other TV shows that are actually in the works as well. And on top of that, they canceled the entire sequel to Captain Marvel. We talked about this just a couple of days ago. That was supposed to be like her big main movie where she was going to be like a solo driven character, not in an ensemble cast. We know that Brie Larson was not a fan of the Marvels being an ensemble cast because it's not 100% focusing on her now. It is more or less focusing on Mrs. Marvel in the upcoming The Marvels film and how it really connects to the up-and-coming Secret Wars. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Now, what's interesting about this further is the fact that Brie is also wreaking havoc over at, Disney, over at Marvel Studios for Kevin Feige, and it's messing a lot of things up because, like Phoebe Waller, like Rachel Zegler, and like Amber Heard, there's always some kind of drama happening behind closed doors and behind the scenes for all of these projects. Now, moving onwards. Now, Brie's manager and agent are also involved in the ongoing drama and are supporting her demands against Disney regardless of knowing the fact that it's causing conversations within Disney to rid of Larson from Secret Wars, as Kevin Feige has been given that possibility from the higher-ups. Waldron aims to complete the script by 2025, however the strikes are only making matters worse for Disney right now. Additionally, budgeting restrictions are going to apply to the role in Secret Wars, regardless of its distant release date. And about that release date, we're not going to be seeing Secret Wars now until May of 2027. Let that sink in for a moment. You have somebody like Brie Larson really getting engaged in all this drama for a movie that's not even arriving in, 4, 5, 6 years, even if they want to delay it more than that, because I think that they are going to delay it again. Let's not, sugarcoat this. The WGA strikes are going to be an ongoing complication. And I think it's going to get delayed again. Possibly till 2028. So you're going to have to go through 24, 25, 26, and 27. That could very well, delay a lot of other movies a whole 1 or extra 2 years. It's very possible. There's a lot of people out there that believe the WGA strikes are going to last until at least January and or February of 2024 at the minimum. People really do see this moving through the fall, and that's going to create a significant delay, not just on Marvel projects, but also on Star Wars movies and TV shows and just everything. So that's why, you have a lot of these actors and actresses that really aren't all that thrilled about the whole WGA situation as much as they want to protect their union. It really is creating a big stir also for SAG. Now, Brie Larson, again, I think that she should be dropped from Secret Wars. She's making these unruly demands that make absolutely no sense. You signed the contract, you agreed, and at the end of the day, if you're not happy with said project, or if you expected Disney to do something like this, why didn't you just walk away from said project beforehand? It's just beyond me, right? So I think that's the problem with some actresses these days. They get very greedy, they get very overly demanding about, a role that's probably not even going to be that huge in Secret Wars. So let's just be real about that. But anyway, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.